righty, so good morning. Welcome to our first weekly Live You Self-Care brunch and munch session with the Live Self-Care coaches. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? Cicely has her mimosa. Me, I'm over here with my water bottle. So
I have water, but I missed my tea somewhere. I misplaced it.
Whackness. It's okay. I'll hold it down for the drinkers. Hold it down.
Thank you. Team.
My name is CiaraWimby, and I am the founder and CEO of LIV You Nonprofit, but I am also one of the self-care coaches. And my specialty for self-care coaching is physical wellness. Passing it on to you, Cicely.
So clearly I'm the dancing, singing one, and clearly I am a semi-morning person, like they morning people, but yeah. I'm show up morning person. So I am Cicely Beckham. I am the mental wellness self-care coach. And what else y'all want to know? You gotta ask me questions, I'll tell you.
Well, that's all. Just briefly, just give a little, little something about who we are and pass it on.
Oh yeah, we know. HU, my vice president is advising. Sorry, go ahead. Passing it to Stephany.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. I'm Stephany, and I am a spiritual coach within Live You. So, hey.
So calm there. And I am a spiritual coach with Live You.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes, I'm very calm. Until we get just playing.
All righty. So the question for this week, and we posted the question of the week on Monday, and so every Monday we'll post the question, the new question of the week, and we actually post it through our other other posts as well. We copy it to our other posts so that you can have an opportunity to either comment on the social media that you see it in, IG, Facebook, LinkedIn. And then if you're not able to join us, we will still discuss the question and provide you some coaching tips to it. And if you are able to join us, then you get to, ask live or, join in with us when we open up that time. So the question of the week was, self-care looks different for everyone. Does your self-care practice align with your life's current demands? Again, question of the week, self-care looks different for everyone. Does your self-practice align with your life's current demands? So what feedback have we gotten? And ladies, we can answer that question ourselves as well.
Definitely. So I'll do the feedback first and then I'll answer that. So we have one participant of answering the question who says, yes, as a massage therapist and hairstylist, it is imperative that I get massages and keep my hair done too. It's a must. Listen, I don't know nothing about being a massage therapist, but I want to be down. Can I do that on a weekly basis?
I love that because, it's so many times that, and I've gone to beauticians who may not have the opportunity to get their hair done, but they do a good job because of your hair and other people that they see, but they are not a walking representation of the service that they provide.
That is very true. Yeah, listen, because not a hairstylist either, but I want to be down. So I think that was very, very intuitive of her to be aware of these things as a representative. Welcome. I know some people's audios are connecting, but welcome.
Take your phone for the people who are joining in. Please make sure to mute yourselves as you're coming in. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, and another participant says, as an entrepreneur, you always on the go and grind. You have to make time for yourself. I know I have to give time to sit and quiet, to be quiet and relax, but I struggle with determining on how often I can go in between need and break. But I turn off my phone, like I go out of town, massage, self date night, hanging out with friends and family, or just sit and enjoy me. So that is something, the balance is real. Like, how do I fit this in when I have so many demands?
Right.
I like the fact that she had ideas or has ideas and things that she does when she does go into her zone of self-care, but finding that balance is imperative to the push. And just knowing when you need it, like, what are your triggers? Like, what's your warning signs? Let me know, like, bro, I need to take a minute because I feel I'm getting ready to reach my point of saturation where I just can't even process anymore. So I think that is very important to find balance in that. Also, I have another person who replied, who talked about, she slid in my DM, y'all. I was like,
Yeah, girl.
one was in my DM. Welcome, it's supporting. But she said that it was imperative for her self-care routine to involve her facial hygiene. And I was like, ooh, yeah, because we are at the age where face care is imperative. Like, bro, I don't need the lines. The fountain of youth be with me. So she was saying how she takes 15 to 20 minutes every morning to just implement a routine for her face care, which includes the cleaning, the vitamin C treatment, she does scrubs on. She has days that she has scrubs to do, and so she's like has a legit routine. And then she was like, "And girl, do you know? Does your moisturizer has SPF in it?" And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
"Let me go check, girl. I don't know, cause yeah." So yeah, she put me on game. Even though I have a really good face care routine, but I just got hip to it. Like, as you know, as we getting a little older in our group, you know, facial, we like to look. We want to be cute. We want to feel like somebody looking at us and not like, because adult acne is bananas. Like, let me tell you, like, I'd be offended, like the nerve of my face to betray me like this. So I don't know if I'm the only one to feel like that, but I just thought that was super dope that she was aware that in order for her to show up every day, her face care got to be right. And I thought that was super duper dope. So those are the answers that I received on my end. And I'll just go into my own self-care practices that I'm waxing and waning. You know, it's not a solid concrete definition of self-care. Like, I don't believe it has to be, you have to follow this routine, this, like, it wax and wanes, because today I like chocolate chips, tomorrow I might like peanut butter. So
right.
my self-care practices reflect that. And so I was sharing with my crew earlier, like, I had to implement some physical exercise. So just getting up and movement into my space for my physical care, my self-care this week, because like just the demands of my life right now switched from what it was last season. So I'm like, ooh, and if everybody on the call probably know, I'm like, it's fourth quarter, the grind here different, like, ooh. So all the places that I let relax, like, because I'm a procrastinator, you know, I'm working on it, but I work very well under pressure, you know, go ahead and switch that up like that. But with knowing that, I'm like, oh, wait, it's too many demands on me, and that procrastination can't live in this space. So trying to find the practices, though, where I need to show up mentally, because my self-care practice with me right now are definitely mental, because it's just like too much coming in, and me trying to process and be literally in the present moment for every given moment is like, wait, what you say again? The selective hearing come on and off, like you only hear keywords that make you, oh yeah, okay. So it's just like just being present this time. And so in order for me to just be present mentally, in the morning I had to get up an hour early just to go on a walk to clear my mind, so I can sort things out, compartmentalize them, and be present for every area that I'm showing up in. So that is my self-care, heavy on the self-care this week routine. So it'll change next week, don't worry.
So it changes. Okay, so that's one of the things. So back to the question, self-care looks different for everyone, and does your self practice align with your life's current demands? So we're not always going to have the same self-care routine, right? It's gonna change. So it's really about what tools are you gonna have in your toolbox so that you can navigate through them. So I'll talk about something like, for me, for instance, tools that I have in my toolbox could be yoga, walking, the foods that I eat. Also, I've really gotten into plants these past couple of years. So nature, bringing nature in my house so that I'm not out looking for it, because, sometimes when you're in an urban area, you're not getting enough contact with nature. And so, for example, yesterday, my intent was to go walking after work, but my day was so draining for me that the thought of going outside to go walk was very overwhelming. The outside walk seemed like it was going to be forever. So if I went outside walking, I don't know how long this walk was going to be, how long I would be in it. And I was just like, never mind. I don't think I'll go walking. But as I was taking my clothes off and switching from my work clothes to my day clothes, I actually saw that I was enjoying moving around the house. So instead of going outside walking, I made a choice to walk inside because it felt comfortable. It felt like it wasn't as big as being outside. So like you said, Cicely, that day by day, it's going to change. It sometimes, it's going to be peanut butter on Monday. Tuesday is going to be animal crackers. Wednesday, it's going to be chocolate chip. But you need to have some tools to at least go to pull from, so that you don't know where not to go. You still have something to go with it. So, Stephany, how about you?
So for me, my self-care routine is a lot like Cicely's in terms of changing. However, I get up early in the morning and I like to meditate. And when I sit and I meditate, sometimes I can meditate for 10 minutes, sometimes it's 15, sometimes it can be up to 2 hours. I will meditate and it clears my mind. And when you're meditating, your thoughts are gonna run all over the place. It's totally fine. I just try to center myself and my thinking and just allow my subconscious mind to take over and go with the flow. Once I'm done meditating this week, and I was telling the ladies earlier before this Zoom, that I started back walking. And so I've always been a runner. I've always ran in the morning. I've always, even in school, track, I'm doing something in regards to running. And I like to run until I'm heavy in the chest, like the breathing is heavy, because that's the momentum. That's my momentum. I like to get to that point because I feel it. And it's like once I'm running in the morning, then all my thoughts they're away. They're in the wind and there is no thinking. It's just movement. And I am water. And we've had this conversation before about being in motion. And so when I was not in motion, everything was just stuck. I was still water. I was still stuck in this thought process or this frame of mind or perspective. And there was nothing else in my life that was moving around. And I had to physically get up myself and start moving. And when I started moving, things in my life and other areas began moving also, because I am a water sign. So I have to move. I'm water. I got to flow. So meditation, exercise early in the morning. I get up and it's still dark outside when I go running. I can handle that. So running, walking, meditation, and that's pretty much my self-care routine, and keeping my emotions in check too. So we have to make sure we do that.
Wait, pause, because one, bless your ministry, but I'm in the chat blowing y'all up. Because listen, y'all, and everybody in here knows that I'm not the early bird. So, but Samantha said she get up. I saw them tell them what time y'all be getting up, because y'all be blowing the text up.
I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 a.m. And so let me tell you why. First off, because I need to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning time because I have a lot of self-care that I need to do before I get my day going. And so I'm a fire sign. So when Stephany said water, I am a sun fire sign, and
Boy, we Captain Planet Earth.
I'm about that fire. I'm about that fire life. I'm about burning people up, burning people down. And so, in order for me to, and burning myself up, I mean, like literally, it's real. And so, in order for me to stay in a state of calm, I have to do various self-care routines. I have to do yoga. I have to meditate. I have to make sure that I'm having something good and healthy to eat for the day. Like I have to do a lot of things to keep my levels down when I'm interacting with stress throughout the day. And I know, and not that I've ever been diagnosed with this, but I know I have a lot of anxieties about things. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be like negative. It could be even something as like I text you all, where y'all at? It's 2 minutes before it's time for us to get on. Why y'all not on here yet? Like we need to get started. Whereas you all are kind of like, we'll be there at 11:01 and I'm okay. And it's 11 o'clock and I'm like, oh my God, we're not going. We're not started.
10:58. Cut the crap. Okay, I'm there. Don't do that.
So I have to. So those are things every day I have to do to like keep my my anxiety level down, but not just anxiety. The fact that I know that I may like snap off on somebody if they say something wrong to me, and it may not even be anything wrong. It may be something simple, but because I'm all anxious, I took it the wrong way. So I just have to. I make myself stay in a state of calm. So I don't do drugs, but I do yoga. That's how I meditate. That's how I keep calm.
That is very good self-awareness to know that it's like, it's not you, it's me.
Right.
It's me,
It's me. I need
to take ownership of
myself.
it.
So we do have a comment on our Facebook page from Tiffany Arnaz. I hope I didn't butcher your last name, but she says, I am a positive person, but sometimes I am not aware that there is something bothering me that needs to be addressed. Then it comes out sideways, reminding me to stop and up my self-care and self-love.
Mm-hmm. We really have to be present. Being present and knowing what's happening with ourselves. Like when I said yesterday, I wanted to go walk outside, but I realized outside looked like it was overwhelming. Outside looked too much for me. And I had to just simply say, you know what, I can walk around my home and it's okay. And I still got the same amount of movement in. So we definitely have to be present about our own feelings and what's happening.
Definitely.
And, to add to that, and also I'm looking to respond to you, Tiffany, as well, especially when you say you're not aware that sometimes you're not aware that there is something bothering you and that it needs to be addressed. It's really important to look within, because a lot of times from my experience and experience with other people, I've noticed that whenever we are unsure why we're upset or what's upsetting us, it's because we have not done that search within. It's something that we're not addressing within that is coming out in a different manner. So going within and really being honest with yourself and saying and having those conversations about what's really bothering you. And sometimes when you do that, you'll get those answers. Just ask yourself why. Why am I feeling like this? Why am I having this breakdown? Why is it on this day? Just ask yourself why until you get to that answer. And then sometimes you may not know, and that's okay. But if you don't know, that's where you need to do the research within.
Call it Nate dog. I had to regulate. I had to wake up and turn on regulators mount up all the time because I got to get my life back in focus with that. So yes, being aware, being reflective is very critical to your self-care thing. Just making sure, like, is it me? Because sometimes it's not you, like for real. Sometimes it's everybody else dealing with their stuff as well. And then, like, have you ever just been in a place of peace and then you realize everybody around you is in uproar and you like, ooh,
Yeah.
that's funky over there. Like, ooh, it almost make you want to like crawl in your shell, like, But it be in places like work, in school, and places that you can't avoid. So being aware of who you are in that space is very important. Just being reflective, like, because like I said, sometimes it be you sometimes, and sometimes it be other, but recognize
sometimes it's you, because it's how we take it. It's always how we process it, because even if somebody gives you something that you don't like, you don't have to take it. So it's always how we respond to things. Is it going to be positive or a negative? Because it doesn't always.
Sorry, hey mama, mute your phone. My mama here, y'all. Hey.
Hey, Mom.
Somebody mute her, because I don't know if she know how. And she gonna, okay. Oh, my bad. Look at her. I can't nigga.
Miss Valerie in the house.
Now y'all see why I be on fire? Like, look, I am an earth sign. I am not the fire, but you see why right there. Woo woo, party in the mornings. We here. Look, mama, got a mimosa for you, girl. Come through. Okay, sorry, y'all back. I'm done gangbanging. But carry on.
I don't even remember what I was saying, but that was so funny. I love it. But you know what? It's 11:25. Let's let some of the ladies that have joined us today. Let's let them answer that question about their self-care routine, or if you all have any questions for us, we're more than happy to answer those. So let's get started.
Well, Kel's in the chat had something as well. She said the first 30 to 40 minutes, I pray over my day and people I will be encountering throughout the day. So she's putting some in the chat, but if you'd like to talk more to that, please.
Unmute yourself. But that's the selfless act of praying over the people that you're gonna encounter through the day.
Yeah, that's right. That's
real good insight. Look, thank you, girl, because you be encountering me. Pray for me, baby. I take them all. Give him glory. Ask him to help me, because
I have to, because I'm in the healthcare field, so I encounter lots of personalities that I don't want to come home with me. So I pray that the people that I encounter that have a pleasurable experience with me, and that I don't take their energy home with me.
I love that. I love that.
That's so important. That's so important.
And stolen, added to my self-care routine.
Right.
Thank
people,
you.
We go out and we're out and about with people all the time. And she has a job, like she said, in the healthcare field, where I'm sure she's interacting with various people all the time, and she doesn't want to take that energy home with her. And that's because energy is real. And taking home somebody else's negative energy or negative spirit, that's real. So let's,
right.
Yes. Nicole is under the dryer getting her beauty day in, baby. Come on with that type of self-care. Yes.
She said today is her beauty day. So Nicole, what else are you doing for your beauty day since you're under the dryer? You said today is the beauty day. So what else are you doing for your beauty day?
Look, Texas. One thing is I unplug for everybody to preserve my energy.
So are you an introvert? Because I do that as well. I'm an introvert, and so what I learned about introverts is not that you have an issue with being around people. It's more so where you derive your energy, and I derive my energy from quiet and peace, as opposed to being out and about with people. I don't like, if I'm in a crowd, it's draining me, and so I need to go home and rejuvenate and not talk to people for a couple of days. Like, all my friends and family know I'm quick in a minute to be like, you know what, I'm going underground, please don't talk to me. I am okay, I will check in from time to time, but I need to not talk to y'all, look at y'all, nothing. I need to preserve myself.
It's heavy on the boundaries. I love it.
Very.
I'm gonna set my boundaries like that too, but my people be like, girl, forget the boundaries. Hey. So
She's getting her nails and pedicure. I am learning that I am more so than I thought. That's me. Yeah. So she's an introvert. Yeah. People think I'm an extrovert, and extrovert, I guess, because I have an outgoing personality, but in terms of back to how I derive my energy, it's not from people, it's from within. So
yeah, and I thought that Ciara was a extrovert as well because she is very full of life, full of personality, and I'm also an introvert. So I derive my energy from within. I love being at home. I like sitting in my bunker. I like the quietness. Being around so many people is draining for me. It can drain my energy, and also I'm an empath on top of that. So I'm feeling everybody's feelings and emotions and energies, even the ones that they haven't even dealt with. Those are kind of like the worst. So it's like I can feel all of that, and I'm like, I want to look over and say, can you please talk to somebody, because you need to help, you need to solve this. It'll be so much easier, but that's encroaching upon their boundary, whether I know it or not. So yeah, being around a whole bunch of people, for me, it's a lot. So I do my best I come out of my hole for a little bit and I come back in and I stay there and I hunker down some more, because I enjoy the quiet and being by myself. I enjoy the inward.
yeah, and I like to be like the first person at the event so I can leave early. They're like, oh, people just got here. All right, then, I'll see y'all.
Bye. See y'all later.
Samantha says, I'm the same, an introvert, and love my me time without interaction with others. I can be just fine. That is so true. So that's a Taurus straight girl. Ooh, ooh, come on to the Taurus. We are introverted extroverts. Like, we can do people and we entertain well. However, when it's our time to be by ourselves, we'll get you about that jam quick. We quick with the mouth too. Like, our mouth is reckless when we annoy. So yeah, it is definitely a good thing. Kenya says, I have moments I can be either introvert or extrovert. That is very true. Look, these my friends, y'all. Hey, friends.
Hey,
So I
friends.
to hear their moments is very true. Like, that is super duper dope that you're able to be both, because she is indeed the life of the party. And I know for a fact that, like, it can be extremely draining. So knowing a part of your self-care, like, I know I can give this much of myself. Sorry, can you go ahead and talk for yourself? Unmute yourself, boo. Because
my dog is growling.
That's okay.
But yeah, I have moments. Hi, y'all.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, new friend.
Hey. I think it's changed over time. I think I was just solely an extrovert at one time until, like, my husband passed and grief entered my life on a heavy spectrum. So now it's like I get off work. I'm an instructional coach. I coach teachers, so I work with kids and people all day. So I get off work, and at 5 o'clock when I get here, I take 2 hours for myself, and I am like real structural with my schedule. So I'm like 5 to 7, or sometimes maybe 5 to 8 is just me, whether it's watching Judge Mathis, reading a book, or going to walk. But then after those 5 days, though, like, I'll take those 5, like Monday through Friday, I work, I take my 3 hours, but then my extrovert comes in by Friday, and it's like, oh, I need to see some people now. And I have, like, my team of people, I'll go and I'll socially drink and chill out. So yeah, it's very structural now.
That's good. I love structure. I like both. I like to be able to create the structure, but to have it makes it, because we're good at following directions as humans. Just like, oh, it's a structure laid out. I don't have to think. I could just go and be. So I love the fact that you have both, like a structured time. Unmute yourself, girl, Val. I see you with the take off mute, girl. What you telling about?
I just wanted to say that I'm an extrovert all the time.
You said all the time.
Because I have learned how to identify what's going on with my body when things are happening. I took the time to do research on me to know what makes me function. I love people. I love giving. And I know when it's time for me to go back and get refilled for me. So I identify those things, and I'm always willing to give. So for me, having time to myself is being with someone just talking. To me, that rejuvenates me because it gets my mind thinking and it makes me take myself to a higher level. So knowing your limits, knowing where you are, when you're somewhere, and being able to identify it and then make a decision on what you're going to do with it is a major factor.
Come on, don't you sound like my mama again?
Thank you, like Miss Valerie, with that wisdom there. Thank you.
You sounded just like Big Val. Come on. That's big.
So when you can be in the middle of a situation where you're having a crisis, and then you realize, wow, I'm having a of what you're going to do.
She's driving, so she's coming in and out.
Oh,
girl, you dropping knowledge in your phone like
right.
Well, I was just saying that you can be in the middle of a crisis, and then when you realize that you're in that crisis, you have to realize then, what am I going to do? Make a decision then. Am I going to sit in this and be okay with it? Am I going to do something about it, or am I going to fall out of agreement with it?
Exactly.
So when you know what you want to do, because sometimes I say, I'll tell God too. I'll say, God, I need 5 more minutes with this, and then I'm okay. So I take that 5 minutes, and then I'm true to my word, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. So I made the thing that I know that I need to get it out because it's festering in and it's doing something. So I need to release it. And then from that point on, decide, okay, now that I've released it, what am I going to do to fill that void? Because there is a void. Once you get rid of something, there's an empty spot there. Yes. So then now you got to make a decision. And so I've learned how to say, I choose joy. So then I said, I'm putting joy in there, and I started laughing, thinking joyful thoughts, doing joyful things, and getting to that point where I make that decision to choose joy, because nobody can take your joy. You can only give it away.
That's right.
Yeah.
Come on with the knowledge, man. Hold on, but I'm sorry I got to be a bully on the block, but your 2 minutes are
You
can talk again. I'm just saying, it's a 2-minute window. You get a new one. And let somebody else go, and then you could come back, because I know you with the Ricky. Got it. So, Ciara, stop laughing at me. Anybody else on the self-care? Because she is extremely insightful. And the thing is, I know just as women, a lot of times we do symptom suppression. We don't want to act like, we don't want to acknowledge that it's a thing, call a thing a thing, And so are there some people here that just are not aware of what their triggers are, and just hyper alert and just anxiety driven, because there's people like this out here. So my question is, are you self-aware of what works for you and what's your thing?
Yeah, we have to be self-aware of what those things are. And so when Tiffany stated, she wasn't always aware of what's going on. Yesterday, again, back to my yesterday, I had to admit I'm feeling stressed, and I had to own it, not just, oh my God, what's wrong? No, I'm feeling stressed, and I'm stressed because of these reasons. I knew what the reasons were because this was a very interesting week overall. A lot of new came into my week this week, and so I was learning to manage it all. Now, in the next couple of weeks, I'll be fine with all of it, but when all the newness is coming on and trying to put some structure around it into my routine, threw me off a bit. It threw me off my square a bit.
And for me, I'm usually in the go. I'm usually always on the go doing something. And at this particular point right now, I'm not necessarily on the go all the time. So I'm finding that I have new triggers when I'm not on the go, that I'm like, oh wait, I didn't know I do this. Oh wait, I didn't know that this happens. I didn't know how I can feel like this. It's okay to really feel the feeling in the moment, being present in that moment, and actually talking to myself, because sometimes I need advice from a real one. And as I have these conversations, I'm really asking, Stephany, like, how do you feel? Like, what are the next steps you're going to do? And also, how are we going to get in front of this from when it happens again? I want to be proactive in these triggers because I want to maintain my own emotional path and my own mental breakdowns or mental awareness or anything like that. I need to be in control of me and remain that way. And that's just me.
Definitely. First of all, can I just say, I love it when she said, I got to talk to myself because I need wisdom from a real one.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm the realest in the game. You already know it.
Right.
So,
gotta do it.
That's one thing. That's one thing I really value is that you will never lie to you. Like being able to trust you, that intuition is intense. You can't hear me, Val? Can everybody else hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I don't know why you can't hear me, Val.
Because she moving around. I had to get it together real quick.
Moving around, shake a little something. Okay. So like just being aware, like when you feel that, it's that. Not questioning like what is like if you feel tired, you tired. If you feel stressed, you stressed. Like listen to your body.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to sit still and call a thing a thing. I'm stressed, I'm annoyed.
Telling the truth. But one of the things I want to say is when you said, we'll never lie to ourselves, we do lie to ourselves. Now our bodies may not lie because it's telling us things or your intuition. So that voice that we then ignore, that's the one that's telling us the truth. But the other part, the one that we like, yeah, I'm okay. No, you're not. That's the one that's lying. No, you're not okay. No, you're not okay. And learn to be honest.
That's what my mouth say. But my body like, sis. It's almost like when you turn on your car and all them lights come on.
Right. And you still trying to go somewhere anyway. No, you need to go get your car, a maintenance for your car. And you're like, oh no, it's fine. I'm gonna be okay. It's all right. There's no problem.
Hold on real quick. Let me read this chat. Can you say, I feel that a powerful part of me is self-awareness. I zoom into myself. I know my current triggers and ways to decompress. Powerful.
That's wonderful.
Also, thank you for joining the call.
Oh, yeah, she got to go.
Yes, thank you.
Being here.
Send me a picture of you, girl. I know you're finna get Kurt. Yes, but back to being aware of your triggers, that's so deep.
Right.
That's so important. That's so powerful. Mm-hmm. It is very powerful to know, like, then do you know, like, the people that trigger you? Like, you know that, like, but when they in spaces that you can't avoid. So I have to, like, pre-game myself, like, okay, think positive thoughts, because I know I'm about to go in this space. And I know when I'm triggered, my mouth get, like, attitude. I don't have a therapy face. As y'all say, I'm very facial. If my mouth don't say it, my face will. Like, that's something I'm learning to control. So being able to be aware of these things, like being aware of who triggers you, what triggers you. Let me tell you something that I know that triggered me, but people patting me. What? Don't touch me. Oh my God. People smacking with chewing gum and stuff with their mouth open. Sends me overboard. And I'm just like, y'all don't hear that?
Yeah.
Like, totally. Another thing, don't laugh at me, y'all, but funky smells like somebody passing gas. Instant trigger. Like, why? What? So foul smells. I can't act right. Let's not pause. Who did that? Can we spray something? These are things I know, and like things that people just be acting like. Somebody talking to you with a booger in their nose. Oh my God, I can't function. Like, these are small triggers that we laugh about, but I feel like that's my thing.
But
they're real.
The things that you said that's very key is they're your triggers. They belong to you. So you can't sit here and say, hey, I need you to make sure before you see me that you clean your nose out and don't have a booger. You need to make sure that you don't pass gas around me. You need to make sure that you're not funky. Like, you can't tell people that because that's okay to them, or whatever that is, but it's not okay for you. So it's how you manage that when it comes into your space. You have to know how to manage it.
I'm gonna say house rules. funky check.
You know what?
Can't be my friend.
Well, if they in your house, then you can just tell them they got.
No, I'm just saying house rules for me to be in your space. If your space smell like mothballs and dirty clothes, don't invite
it's
me.
Okay that you don't have to be their friend. You can decide that that's you again managing you, which is these are the type of people I like in my space, and so let me move on about my.
And you know what? It's more than just people. What about environments? Certain places can also trigger things for other people. So yes, I'm an introvert. I can't be around too many people, especially for an extended period of time. I want to be inward. I know for me, if I go to certain spaces, it'll trigger a memory. And I would think, I don't know if I really like it here, or how do I feel about it now being older and I'm reliving the same memory? Am I going to have the same feelings? And if the same feelings come up, then maybe that's something that you need to look at and actually address, get to the root cause of why you're having those feelings, because environments can trigger those things. And you can take that with you throughout your entire life and never even know it until you go back to that one particular space, or you go to a space that looks whatever that trigger was that caused it. So it's very important to be aware
that you do to move out of that space. What do you do to move out of that?
Right. Is that a question for me?
So that was not a rhetorical question.
That's a question. So
well, it was
because we are triggered.
Yeah.
So what do you do to move out of that space?
So honestly, I'm just aware of me in that moment. How am I feeling? I take my time, I take a deep breath, and I slow down my thinking and really analyze the thoughts that's coming through to me. And once I realize that I'm safe, I'm in a safe space, I'm comfortable with me and I'm safe, then I go into asking, what can I do to, I don't know, better myself. It's just a mental thing for me. I have to make sure that I'm safe, for one. If you're not safe, then, maybe you shouldn't be in that space. But I have to make sure that I'm safe and I'm calm and I'm secure within myself and confident in my abilities to handle whatever this is that's coming in front of me, and then move forward. And if I'm not comfortable in that environment, then I just move around. I don't stay. I walk away. I go elsewhere. But I also write down my thoughts too. So I write down what's happening to me in a book or a journal. I journal sometimes. So I write down what's happening and how I feel and go back and revisit that later and analyze it, because I kind of want to get those feelings away from me. But if I can't get them away, then I have to get them to a space that I'm comfortable to talk about or manage or handle at any point in time.
Ooh, look at this. Mama Val and took her mic off. Watch her drop this knowledge. Boop. Go ahead.
I just want to know how long it takes before you realize that you're not comfortable in that space, and what indications do you have that let you know that that's uncomfort that you're feeling, or that you're having something about that? Do you stay in that space for a while, and then when you leave, you're like, oh God, do you revisit it after you leave? Or how long do you know when to say, hey, wait, something's not right here?
It's almost immediate. So if I'm in a space, it's like instantly. I just know if I'm not comfortable there, then I'm not going to stay there. I'm not going to stay in any place that I'm not comfortable in. So it's immediate for me. I don't need to wait and figure it out, because I just get that feeling and I go within. And if I don't feel right, I leave. If it's a safe space for me, then I stay. But it just really depends. And I don't know if I'll go back to an environment or not. I'm not sure. It really all depends on what the situation is, what I'm doing there, what's the purpose. There's a lot of factors included.
So I definitely agree with Stephany in terms of being immediate. I remember a couple times in my life, and which is actually funny, because even in a dream last night, I was in a space that I wasn't comfortable in or felt comfortable in. And even in my dream, I said, I don't feel comfortable in this space. I need to leave. And immediately, even in my dream, I moved myself out of whatever that space was, because that goes back to trusting ourselves and our body. It tells us right away what's going on. And then it's our whatever thought, the second thought that we have, oh, that's just that's not real. I'm fine. Sometimes I'm scary, so I just need to get over being scary. Nope, it don't feel good. Let me, exit stage left. So really trust the feelings that we have within, and trust the body and the feelings.
So for me, I guess I'm a little confrontational.
Okay.
I'm gonna address it. Let's talk about it. What is this? Why is this? Hey, y'all don't feel this? Hey, come talk to me.
Like everybody.
Yeah, I bring you in. We do this together. I'm a collectivist thinker. If I'm feeling something, somebody else got to be. I know I won't be the only one feeling it. Let's talk about it. What is it? Let's make this stop, because I need to process it, and I process through talking out loud. Let me make sure my perspective is not off the wall. Let me make sure that I'm not on the crazy street, because sometimes my lens are different from you. We could be in the same room and everybody gonna have a different story, So right. Sometimes I just need to process. Well, not sometimes, all the time. I need to process what my lens took in to make it make sense to me. And so whatever it is that's triggering me to that point, when you say a safe space, I gotta make my safe. If I ain't safe, then wait, I'm gonna make it safe here, because I'm not leaving. I'm a bull. I'm stubborn. I fight everybody in this thing. I don't care. Let's do it. One by one, line them up. So, or group team, my mom pick up a chair, pow, y'all ain't gonna get me. So that's my thing. I'm gonna process in that moment. Somebody talk to me. What is this? Let's address this thing. I don't want to sit in this and make it uncomfortable, because I want to be more people oriented. I want to be around these people. And so if you're right, that Taurus bull is real. So somebody in the chat, but like, I want to address, but these are people, like, I'm such a person that wants everybody to have harmony. Even if the only time you ever had harmony was when I was in your space, I want to make it enjoyable for you. So let's process whatever this thing is to make it enjoyable for everybody, and that we can sit in this space together. I'm willing to, if you have the 30 to the 80, I'm willing to give that extra % of me to make this a comfortable space. That's one of the things that's about me. I'm willing to give that. I'm willing to go the extra mile to meet you where you are, long as it's not to degrade or anything like that. But I'm willing to give that extra mile and be that extra ear, that space. So let's process it. I'm not a runner. If I ever cut my legs off, when my money bag, I ain't never ran from this.
What I heard though is, so you're an extrovert, and so Stephany and I are intro. Oh, so you're both, and so Stephany and I are extreme.
Yeah,
all the way.
That's why I always come in y'all space like, bust this thing up. Come on, talk to me.
And so for us, so even in thinking about how we all approach things, that's also knowing how you derive your energy, because that's going to also make a difference of how you're going to interact with whatever is going on.
Right.
So I just also want to say we have about 9 more minutes to be on here today.
Real quick about that.
Wait, your phone, you can, but your phone breaking up. We can't hear you.
What do you do when you can't leave?
Process
so you're at
that
work,
thing.
you're in a situation, you're in the middle of a meeting, you feel that, what do you do then? How do you handle it then?
I got questions, y'all taking questions in here, because I'm bringing it to the table at the office.
You deal with it. If I cannot leave, and if first, like I said, it has to be safe. And if I'm confident within myself, my abilities and everything. But if I'm confronted, then I come back with the noise. I'll leave peacefully. I ain't got no problem. But if you come to me and I can't go, I'm coming right back with that same, probably more energy, because I asked you nicely if I can go. So now I'm finna come back. So I'm confronted. I don't mind being in that space if I have to be.
So that sounds like you saying when you back me against the wall. Now I gotta get from.
That's how.
Now I gotta get active. Now I'm coming out, and guess what? Everybody, now we all gonna have this conversation so we can all get this harmony. And it's no wait. we just no, we all gonna have it now. Let's all have the conversation. Let's all get it all out on the table, because this is where it's at. This is what I tried to do it this way, but since I can't, and this is how it has to be done, and I come back with the noise.
Yeah, I'm generally not a confrontational person, but I will stand my ground. And so I always tell people I learned how to be passive because growing up it was me and my mom in the house, and my mother was definitely alpha. And so she let it be known, I'm the queen of the house. This how this works. And so that allowed me to learn how to be passive, but my nature isn't passive. My nature is very aggressive. But so because I had to learn to be passive in the house, I start off with a passive nature. People think that I'm extremely passive at times until they get to know me, and then I'm like lost my mind, and then they're like, Ciara crazy, right? Well, no, Ciara's not crazy. Ciara is just, she tries to come in a very passive space, but I will blow up the spot if I need to, and I will stand my ground if I need to. But because I know that I'm one end or the other. I'm not a middle ground person. And so I prefer to stay in the passive space because that's a more calming space as opposed to being aggressive on a regular basis. So I'm one or the other.
I think I can do the middle ground. Like I can't. I'm both. I'm all. Look, can we get a mix of all of them? That's all me. It depends on the situation. I know the grit in my voice comes off as aggressive. The grit in my voice, and then the intellect that I'm going to bring behind it, because I'll tell you down with some words, because we ain't pay all this money for me not to talk like I got some sense, okay? So
Right.
that component in me will address the thing if it's a thing. I'll do it in a way that I think I'm a very effective communicator. One of the things that we have to learn, and there's something I have to learn, is mean what you say and say what you mean.
Yes.
And so once I mastered that skill of being able to let me stop and think before I speak so I can articulate what I said, and I'm going to follow through. And so what happens a lot of times is people are not used to that. People are not used to people meaning what they say and saying what they mean. So when you show up, they like, oh my God. And I'm like, but didn't I tell you per my email? Because that's the professional way to go nuts.
Or my email, I said what I said.
Yeah.
Right.
So once I've addressed it, because I mean what I say and I say what I meant, and I'm going to stand on it. Like, I think. Yeah. But like I said, I know that I possess a powerful presence and that it could be intimidated to those. So I try to be mindful of that. Like this, I'm not here to intimidate this, but this is what I'm going to do. Ready or not, here I come. We playing it. My turn. Let's go. So just being aware of that in your presence and what you're willing to take and what you're not willing to take. Because some of the things, if I don't care about it, girl, they be like, oh, she's so nonchalant. She's so chill. If I'm passionate about it, it's mine. I own it. Get out the way. Either add to it or get out the way, because it's no in between with that part. But for the most part, I have to care about it. And I know those things. So it's almost like it's a slippery slope. But if I don't care about it, you can't get me to care at all. I just be like, what? That's crazy. You hear my mama say, my what? That's crazy game is nuts. That's me disengaging. Damn, you be on the phone with your girl. Wait, let me call you back. I left the refrigerator open.
Right.
That's crazy. Like, disengage. So you just be aware of that for yourself. Well, but go ahead and close it out. I see you.
We have 3 more minutes to go, and so I just want to make sure we thank everybody for attending with us live, also attending with us via Facebook, and also contributing to the conversation. More importantly, because we can get up here and we can talk, 3 of us, but having an engaging community makes this so much better. And we want to make sure that we're serving people, we're listening to people, but also offering some tips to help people move forward. And so we are having this every week, every Saturday, probably minus or to a holiday or something that we, won't participate in this. But please join us every week, every Saturday. On Mondays, we are posting the question of the week. Again, if you can't attend, make sure you comment on the posts that we have throughout the week so that we can talk about it here and give you some tips and tricks. And also, if you can, join us live. We really have enjoyed the ladies coming on with us. Thank you all so much. Anybody else want to say anything else before we wrap up?
I do. I want to say, one,
Yes.
thank you. That's amazing. But I also want to say, Stephany,
Yes.
me first. No. I just want to say, take the meat and spit out the bones. Like, if this applies to you, apply it. Try some things out. Like, there's no cookie cutter way, the answer to what works for you. But if you found something that was helpful, insightful, take it. If it wasn't, okay, throw it to the side. Like, you don't have to chew on it. It's okay. Sometimes you get that little gristle, like, ooh, spit it out. It's okay. And we okay with that. But just take what you need from this and move forward, and thank you for coming, and please come back. Answer the questions. Like I said, slide in our DMs. We okay.
Invite more people to come too.
Yes, and also share this video, share what we post on our LIV You Facebook page and our LIV You Facebook group. If you haven't joined the group, please do so. Share it with your friends and your family, because we are here for our ladies. We are our women's keepers. So we are our sisters' keepers. So share, like, comment.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you for joining, and LIV You.